and has a beard and a mustache, but also wears lipstick. This is perfect for us. I don't give a fuck what this guy's good at or bad at. I don't give a fuck what their credentials are. This makes us look like we're inclusive. This makes us look like we're on the right side. So let's hire this person. And you can't have those kind of people running a Ben and Jerry's. You certainly can't have those kind of people running the fucking most powerful government the world's ever known. It's nuts. It's nonsense.
What they've been able to do is introduce contentious issues to the forefront of the culture that prevent the kind of alliances that are necessary taking place. The reason that when I'm over here, I'm having conversations, in addition to the great privilege of coming on your show with, like, you know, going on Bill Maher or going on to Tucker or Ben Shapiro, is because I feel like there's got to be a new conversation around politics. We can't just stay in these little camps. Now, like, I feel sometimes that Joe Biden is the perfect president for the time because he's like the perfect metaphor of what it is. This system is over. And for all of the talk of diversity, what have you got? You've got a career politician, white male, that's falling apart before your very eyes. It's telling you that it's bullshit.
Yes.
And that they'll put people in positions in order to carry that narrative, but for no other reason, because I don't truly believe that they deeply care about those ideas. And even if they do deeply care, the decisions they're making are decisions that are in alignment with the agenda of Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, with centralized banking authority. It's not going to change the world for any of them. They've managed to make ordinary American people hate one another, like on the basis of a 50-50 split. You can't criminalize half of a country and say that they're far-right fascists any more than you can say that, in my view, extreme leftists. These kind of issues oughtn't be what's determining how a country is run. And when they are the issues that determine how a country is run, the powerful run amok. The elites are able to pursue their agenda just fine. Yeah,
because they've got us in these ideological camps, and they've got people infighting and ignoring real problems.
Yes.
And it's such a transparent hustle. It's so obvious to see how it's being set up and how easy it is to get people to fall in line with it. That's one of the most disturbing things that happened during COVID, is how easy people rolled over. I was like, this is wild. I expected more pushback. I expected more people to ask about the data, and particularly when they started saying they were going to vaccinate children. I expected more people to go, hey, what's the fucking data on kids? Or when they were telling people to vaccinate pregnant women. I was like, wait, what data do you have on pregnant women? Because pregnant women, if you like normal medication, when a pregnant woman is taking normal medication, they have to be very careful, because stuff that you can take when you're not pregnant with very little concern all of a sudden becomes a real issue if you have a developing fetus in your body. It's a giant issue. You're a father, you know what it's like when your wife goes through that. It's kind of crazy because there's real concern. Like, you can't take this, you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't this, you can't that. You shouldn't take stem cells, you shouldn't take nootropics. There's so many different things. But yet this vaccine with zero testing on any pregnant people was fine.
Wasn't it worrying that when you're
encouraged,
when you're layman's speculation, like the speculation of people that have not been at university and like, hey, but hold on, you're not going to get pregnant women volunteering for clinical trials, so there's no way you could have tested this on. Hey, hold on, you can't know what's going to happen 5 years down the line because you've not had a 5-year time frame unless you were preparing this thing 5 years ago. In which case, how come you were preparing this thing 5 years ago? The kind of speculations that were being had conversationally in spaces like this one have proven to be true. You can't validate it. Children aren't doing clinical trials. Turns out they didn't do clinical trials for transmission or have any viable data that it stopped transmission. It was like that's one of the things that alarmed me most is how easy people rolled over to an authoritarian edict in countries like mine and yours, where it was assumed that wouldn't happen. I remember the narrative being when the stuff was going on in China. Good luck trying that stuff in the United States.
Right. But
and then they
pulled it off.
If you amplify fear, I feel like it might be like with how it is on an individual level, although it's always hard to scale what affects you as an individual to what affects a bloody planet. But like, if I'm frightened, I become suggestible. When I'm frightened, I'll be like, oh, just give me authority. I'm calling the 911 now. Right. I'm willing to, when my wife is sick or whatever, I'm calling, suddenly the Reiki ain't an option no more. Fuck the crystals, get that shit out of here, get me a physician in a white coat with a stethoscope driving a Bentley right now. I want the comfort of that. I'll do whatever I want. Pfizer, give them the money, for Christ's sake.
Right.
You know, and I feel like if you do that, if you, as they say, gaslight an entire nation, if people are operating at a state of fear, I mean, what does that do to us biochemically? Fear and authority go together, I feel. Like when you are frightened, I want someone else to be in control.
Yeah, and that's what was one of the scary things about the pandemic was they learned from that. They learned how easy people did roll over. And because it was our first pandemic. It was the first pandemic of our lifetime, the first real genuine pandemic since 1918. And so when that happened, I think there was a real revelation, a real realization that they can do this. And so what's the next one? Is it climate change? Like, what is it? What is going to be the reason why they decide to implement the same sort of lockdowns or the same sort of authoritarian control tactics that they used in the last couple of years? They're going to do it again. They're going to do it again. I think people are going to be more resistant to it because a lot of people have suffered through this pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their businesses. A lot of people got alienated from their community, and then it turned out they were right. And now people are upset and bitter. I mean, there's so much talk of not forgiving people that shamed people for not getting vaccinated. There's so much of that going on, like, fuck them. And, you know, my take from the very beginning is like, you can't do that. Like there's no way you can stop forgiving people. That's the dumbest thing you could ever choose to do. Like stop forgiving people who are scared, who made mistakes. Like what are you infallible? You know, are we going to deny people one of the most basic behavior characteristics that human beings exhibit when they're pressured? So they make mistakes and they cower and they show fear. So you're going to write these people off forever because they decided to be assholes because they were scared? Like, that's ridiculous. You can't do that.
I suppose this is where it's a requirement to have some genuine values like clemency, compassion, forgiveness, things that also seem to be getting extracted out of the culture. It's not like there's a set of principles that people have recourse to, a set of binding ideals. It feels to me like that the only safeguard at this point is some sort of resolute democracy to say, we're thinking that the best thing would be 15-minute cities. But of course, you can vote for whether you want your city to be a 15-minute. We're thinking the best thing might be this medication. But of course, you can vote. What you don't want is the WHO determining that in the next pandemic, they have the right to implement by their votes contained within the WHO, like lockdown measures, medication measures, which is something that they're lobbying for currently, I understand. Less and less democracy, more and more ability for unelected global